Hey y'all, here are the further updates on the Mindtree off-campus drive for the years passing out 2020, 2019 and 2021. This video isn't specific for any passing out year because everyone has to go through the same process. It may be CSIT branch or non-CSIT branch. So here's the tagline that Mindtree interview mails are out and a checklist before you get into your tech interviews. So here it was the interview mail out by the Mindtree. So it looks like this: dear candidate, you have been invited for an interview by the Mindtree on 30th May 2021 at 12:30. Literally, it's on 12:30 Sunday afternoon. सोच सकते हो भाई कुछ भी मतलब Sunday भी. We can't do anything because Mindtree is a bit faster in the recruitment process, so we have to go as they wish. And being a student of the third tier college, so we have to fetch out all the available options to get into the jobs. So yes, it's on Sunday afternoon 12:30 p.m. It's a technical drive. So here are also some supporting things that they have given the help articles below and also a support mail. So whoever have any technical issues or technical query can get the FAQs in the help article. And also if you have any technical issues related with your interview, it can also be some emergencies. If you want to reschedule them, you can do, I think, in the support@wecreateproblems.com, which is given in your respective mails. We'll also link up in the bio. So how this all started: in the previous video I have mentioned the written test about the Capgemini and the Mindtree. So this is a in-depth about the Mindtree interview process. So whole process to get here. So what was the whole process? So I applied on 23rd of this May. Then after 2 days I got the written test link. That was on 25th May. My slot was on 4 to 6 p.m. So after a day I got the shortlisted mail to my respective mail. So after 4 days I get a mail that your tech interview is scheduled on 30th May. So when is HR interview? So you will know next further. And also the interview window is going to be on which software. I am relevant about it because here we find to see that there is a separate kind of software what Mindtree has designed for their things, because most of the TCS, Accenture, Cognizant, Infosys giants do this over Cisco WebEx terminals and also sometimes the Microsoft Teams. So I'm also new to this Mindtree, so I will let you know everything what I have got to know tomorrow. So first let's go to the keynotes that you are going into before a technical interview. If you are here for the first time, if the Mindtree exam is your first ever interview, then you have to make a note of these elements very carefully, because these value are much more, because first impression is always the best impression. The first thing is that the elements of resume to look over. So first thing, does the technical interviewer checks over your academics? Is he keen about your academics? No, interviewer just simply ignore the top banner of your resume, which contains about all the academic details. It's morely keenly viewed by the HR lately. So firstly, concentrate on your projects. You have mentioned you might have done different projects on different domains, so you have to be specific about the projects what you have done. Mind that if you have placed any irrelevant projects or projects which you haven't done, so you have no idea about it but you have placed in the resume, then you are going to be in big trouble. ऐसा कुछ किया है आपने तो भाई आपका तो बहुत बुरा कटने वाला है. Just kidding. But key point to know that interviewers are there to help you out. They are there to hire you, not to judge you. So you can have a smart escape from the things which you have mentioned and you are irrelevant of that by simply saying that you were in a group project and your contribution was just 10% of the 100% of that project. So you can have a simple escape from that, but just make sure that you go through the summary at least of that project so that he might know you have done the project. So you can have a smart escape by telling that you have done the 10% of the total project, or 1/4 of the project rest all was done by your group mates. So you can have a smart escape from that. So one more thing, you don't introduce yourself with too many programming languages, but just be perfect with 1 or 2 languages so that questions might be easy. If you overcrowd the knowledge of too many programming languages, then you might be in a bit trouble. So next point is that you should be clear with the internships which you have mentioned and done, because internships are done with your knowledge, so you don't have any escape like the projects where you can escape by saying that it was a group project. So you should be keen about, you should be really practical about the internship, so you should have a clear idea what you have done. Same as for the certifications, like you have done some certifications in Coursera and Udemy, you can place in them. You can also say in them while you are introducing yourself. So many of them are from Coursera and Udemy and etc. So don't let your co-curricular or extracurricular activities set out in the technical interview, because interviewer isn't keen about your curricular and co-curricular activities. It is more relevant to the HR. So you make sure that you only say the technical stuff to your technical interviewer. Mind that interviewer is very specific in terms of technical interview. He is more specific about the content which you have than the extracurricular activities which you have done. So next thing, the technical point overviews. So this is for the both CSIT and also non-CSIT. The things in the top banner, that is data structures and algorithm, the chances of occurring these questions are 100%. This banner is the common thing for the CSIT and the non-CSIT branches, because the data structure, algorithm and the OOPS concept is a must question by every technical interviewer in these days. So the next all three banners are only specific for the CS branches, that is database management system, operating systems and networking. These things are only for the CS background batch, because these things are in the curriculum of our CSIT curriculum. So what are the chances of these things? So in data structure and algorithm and OOPS, you're 100% to ask the questions in that, and you may also have to face any coding. Whiteboard coding means you will be given a question and you are needed to code these things. So there is a chance, 100% chance, that you get a question from data structures. So there is a chance you can code in data structures regarding concepts. Oops, you only come to know or get to ask only theory questions about the OOPS. So there isn't any coding regarding the OOPS, but you might have some examples driven out from that code. You might code in the OOPS also, but 100% relevant question would come from data structure, where you have to code for both CSIT and non-CSIT. Database management system, it's purely CSIT background. There is a chance, 50% chance, you would be asked questions from it. So I would explain what the data structure, algo and OOPS questions might come in the later slide. But in the database management system, you should be relevant of the basic SQL queries, all the queries. So I will link down some free content where you can go through the DBMS stuff. So basic SQL queries and joins are the must questions in this 50% chances. And when it comes to operating chances, the operating system, the chances are more or less a 30%, wherein which you don't have anything to write upon. You just have theory questions like mostly CPU scheduling algorithm. Many of you know the famous one is the round robin algorithm, and the deadlock and deadlock avoidance and prevention measures are the frequently asked questions from operating systems. In networking, it's very rarely asked, because Mindtree isn't a company which is keen about networking like Cisco, where in Cisco you are asked all the questions regarding networking only. So networking questions might be the various network models like OSI and all layers. So if you have just idea about it, you are good to go to this technical interview. So it's clear that data structure, algorithm and OOPS are common for CSIT and non-CSIT, but database management system, OS and networking is for morely the CSIT students. So topic in depth of data structures, I have mentioned everything in this picture, so you can pause the video and have a keen look over everything. So you must be relevant about these things, at least from theoretical knowledge. So I haven't expanded any graphs, because graphs are merely asked rarely, because in this type of service-based company, graphs aren't much asked, but it is a important topic when you go to the product forms. So just have an overlook about all the topics. There are many free stuff available for the DSA, many videos available. Just go through all the things before you just have to know the basic knowledge if you aren't getting in depth to it, just know the names by the keys which are present here. So basic definitions and all should be relevant. So next is the object-oriented programming overview. That are the OOPS concepts which you have to be relevant are that object, classes, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction and encapsulation. You can see the level graph, how it goes. The objects are the basic things, then we build the classes and all, inheritance, so on. So regarding the OOPS concept, I will also link up some useful stuff in the bio. So these are regarding the DSA and the object-oriented programming overview. To the non-technical stuff, that is, does appearance matter? No, not at all. आप अपने बाल खड़े करे या बिठा ले, interviewer isn't relevant about your appearance, but you should be clean and tidy. That's all. Does appearance matter? Not at all. So you should have some good glance about the company before you are going into any interview regarding that company. So just go to the Mindtree official website, go to their about page and know all the stuffs about there. If you aren't getting things, then जो भी वहाँ लिखा है टेप लो दिमाग में, भर लो दिमाग में, और जब भी कोई इंटरव्यूअर पूछा है बस बोल दो. So be specific about what you talk. Don't bring up any irrelevant topics, because technical interviewer is very specific and he has much less patience than the HR interviewer. So you must be specific about what you are speaking, so you don't act too smart or too nerd. ज़्यादा होशियारी दिखाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, ज़्यादा शरीफन दिखाने की भी ज़रूरत नहीं है. नॉर्मल रहिए. If you aren't able to code, be clear with your approach. So this experience is with me also, wherein I wasn't able to code in one of the rounds, but I was clear with the approach, so he was interested with that kind. So if you aren't clear while coding, so don't waste his time. Just go up with your approach and show him what you know. Speak up everything, because interviewer is there to hire you, not to judge you. Be clear about the problem statements which are given to you. You might get a coding question and some scenarios, then you should be clear that what the things he has mentioned should go into your brain. There is nothing wrong in asking many a times, 2, 3, 4 times, it's fine. So at the last, you end your interview by asking some good questions to the interviewer, just saying that what is the work culture of the Mindtree, how the things are at Mindtree, how is your experience regarding Mindtree. Some good questions to make sure that you get a good impression to the interviewer. So at last, here we are at the end. Any questions, let me know in the comments. I have my exam tomorrow, that is in 12:30 slot. If anything interesting comes up, I would surely upload my experience though. Anything interesting, I would also let you know. And moreover, how much I am into this interview, I'm not too much concentrating to this interview, because I have prior good offer and I have signed into that company. I'm into the bond of that company, so I don't want to eat up someone's opportunity. It's always best to have a good company's opportunity in your hands and a backup offer. More than that, you are just eating up someone's opportunity. There are people who are overachievers बाहर दिखते हैं, जो लोग बस ऐसा शौक लगा है 10-20 कंपनियों का क्रैक कर ले, ऑफर लेटर रख ले. देखो, कोई बुराई नहीं है उसमें. It's just that you are holding the opportunity of someone who is in great need of that job. So best policy is that just have a good company offer letter in your hand, just have another backup in your hand, then you are good. And just if you want to have an experience, then you can just go crack the written code interviews, and also you can crack the technical interviews and all HR interviews. But don't accept the offer letter, because each time you are accepting an unnecessary offer letter, you are eating up someone's opportunity. So it's just my personal opinion, nothing to say. Everyone has their opinions, so I have said my opinion. So that's all for this. Let me know if you have any questions regarding this. So all the best for your interview.